Welcome back to Streaming Media East 2022 here in Boston at the Westin Copley. And we're going to talk a little bit about a company called Kweli. So we've got the CEO and founder with us. Introduce yourself and tell me what the word Kweli means.
So I'm DeShuna Spencer, founder and CEO of kweliTV. We are a streaming service that celebrates global Black stories.
Okay.
We amplify Black storytellers from across the globe. We currently have over 600 titles on our platform, and we also work with over 450 filmmakers globally. And Kweli means truth in Swahili.
In Swahili, okay.
So our whole mission is to curate content that's a true reflection of the global Black experience.
And I've had the honor of working in Nigeria and Ghana, and sort of listening to people's stories because I work with a lot of small businesses and women-owned businesses, helping them to figure out how to grow their business, in those economies. Some of the stories are fascinating, and I think one of the things that caught my attention when you were talking just a minute ago with Eric was you're not looking for the Black trauma stories, you're looking for the Black empowerment and uplifting stories. Why is that?
I think for a lot of times for traditional media, a lot of times those stories are the ones that tend to be permanent in mainstream media. And honestly, as a Black person, scrolling through Twitter or seeing what happened, like this anniversary of George Floyd's death, we're just inundated with so much Black trauma, Black death.
Sure.
We don't want our platform to also do the same thing. We really want our platform to be a safe space. And we also really want to show Black stories, like you mentioned, parts of Africa that's not showcasing things you typically think about when you think of Africa. For instance, we have a film on our platform called Africa United. It's in Rwanda. And so when you think about Rwanda, what's the first thing you think about?
Genocide.
Exactly. Yeah. But this film is about a group of kids who like soccer, and the World Cup is in South Africa that year. And the whole film is about them traveling by boat, by walking, by car to get to the World Cup.
And in fact, as I think through movies, and you were mentioning, some of the movies that win, I can only think of one, Queen of Katwe, which was about the chess team, going into the private schools and like that.
Exactly.
That I would consider sort of an uplifting movie, aspirational.
Right, but typically you think about child soldiers, you think about Black death, Black suffering.
Right.
Even as a kid, and I thought about Africa, you see the commercials of of people being poor and thin, and you don't really see other types of stories.
Right.
And on the continent, they're growing tremendously. The middle class is growing tremendously. So even they want to see a different side of how people perceive them because it's such a growing economy, and we need to showcase that.
And do you do things like Nollywood as well, or is it primarily things like documentaries and feature-length films?
We do have some Nollywood films. For us, it's really more about the stories, and we want to make sure we're showcasing the entire continent. So we have films from Nollywood, from Nigeria, Ghana, films from Tanzania, Egypt. I mean, literally the Congo. I can go on and on about the countries, but we pretty much have content representing at least 15 to 20 African countries on kweliTV. And even outside of Africa, we have content from Latin America, so Afro-Latin content, Afro-European content, Afro-Australian content. People like we're everywhere, so we want to showcase those stories.
And if I remember correctly, you're at roughly 50,000 viewers at this point, or close by?
Yes, very, very close to 50K at this point.
And you've not taken VC money?
We've taken like non-traditional VC dollars.
Angel
exactly.
Okay, which I applaud you for, because it's a hard road, but it's probably the right road so that you don't have to be forced to carry types of content that you wouldn't necessarily want to.
Exactly. And when I started the company, I had VCs tell me that you need to have fighting or reality television and some of these negative stories, or people don't want to watch documentaries anyway. Black people don't want to watch documentaries, which is insane.
Well, and it seems like the mentality of the VC saying that, they're thinking strictly inner city America as opposed to the diaspora across the globe. So with those viewers, how many of those viewers are in the US on traditional platforms versus how many of those viewers actually are from Africa or elsewhere?
So 19% of our customers are outside of the US. Of that 19%, 9% are in Europe. And of that 9% in Europe, most are actually in the UK, which makes sense because we're English speaking, platform first, so it makes sense. And then about 5% are in Africa,
Okay.
mostly Ghana, Senegal, Nigeria, and
Nigeria,
South
right.
Africa, like the
Sure.
4 countries.
Sure, sure.
And then we have a 5% in Latin America and in the Caribbean.
Okay.
So Jamaica, Trinidad, Venezuela, Colombia, those,
Right.
and Brazil tends to be the
Okay.
areas where we have outside of U.S.
Interesting. Well, thank you very much for your time, and I hope people go back and actually watch the session that you did with Eric, because that was very insightful, and we will be right back with our next guest.